An anamorphic illusion is a picture or scene that only makes sense from a single vantage point. It's an eye-catching visual trick that's been used in everything from classical art right up to those adverts that we've all seen painted onto sports pitches to look as if they're upright. We've used the N from the NPhoto cover as the basis for our anamorphic illusion. From any position other than the camera, the N looks very distorted, but from this singular position, everything suddenly clicks into place. We need a few essential items for this to work: a laptop installed with tethering software, string and pegs to mark out the design, a rake to rough up the sand, and a tripod. An effect like this needs a large, clear expanse of ground that can be marked with our design. So a sandy beach is perfect, and what better place to do it than at one of the UK's best. Bamborough Castle here provided a stunning backdrop for our sand art. It's important that the camera stays in a fixed position throughout the project, so the first thing we do is set it up on a tripod. Note the positions of the tripod feet just in case it gets moved. When composing the frame, leave plenty of room for your design on the sand, but also think about the angle and the camera height, as this will have an effect on the expanse of ground that the design will have to cover. Place your laptop on a fold-up chair next to your camera to keep it away from the sand. Of course, the beach can be a treacherous environment for your laptop, so check the weather beforehand for any signs of rain and watch out for strong wind kicking up the sand. The key to success here is to tether the camera to a laptop and then overlay the design on top of the live view feed in order to mark out the position on the sand. It's best to prepare your design before you head out. This can be done in any version of Photoshop. Go to File, New, then set the width to 6 inches and the height to 4 inches, as this is the same aspect ratio as your camera. Next, open the design and then select the area that you want with the rectangular marquee tool. Hit Command-C to copy or Control-C on a PC, and then go to the new document and hit Command or Control and V to paste. Next, grab the Move tool and use it to position the graphic. If you need to resize it, press Command or Control and T and then use the bounding box. When saving, first save as a Photoshop PSD document to preserve the layers, and then save as a JPEG copy, as the tethering software won't be able to overlay a PSD. Back on location, connect your camera to your laptop with a tethering cable. The Nikon D800 here requires a USB 3 cable for tethering, but your camera might require a different cable such as a micro USB. The longer the cable, the better. Once connected, we can open our tethering software and enable Live View. When it comes to choosing tethering software, there are lots of options out there. However, not all of them display a live view feed or let you overlay an image on top. We used tethering software called Sharpshooter 3 here, which allows for both on Nikon DSLRs. Next, overlay the graphic on top of the scene. At this point, you'll probably need to tweak the position of the graphic to match the clear patch of sand, in which case open the layered PSD in Photoshop and adjust the design, and then save another JPEG copy and try again. The next step is to mark out the corner points for each element in the design using pegs. With Sharpshooter 3 here, we can zoom in to the live view feed to be more precise. Go out into the scene and using the live view feed with the overlaid graphic as a guide, place pegs in the sand at the corners for each part of the design. This part of the job is far easier with two people, one at the laptop to direct, the other to place the pegs. Position pegs for every corner point in the graphic until the entire shape is covered. Once done, there's no need to continue tethering, so turn off the camera and laptop to preserve the power. Now it's time to join up the dots. Wrap string around each peg and keep the lines as straight as possible. You might need to consult the design just to make sure that all the points match up. Of course, things are a lot easier here if the shape has straight edges, as these are much easier to mark out with the string. Next is the fun part. Simply rake out the area marked with the string, being careful not to scatter sand over the edges of the design. This is where we begin to see the optical illusion take shape in the sand. At points closer to the camera, we need to be more precise, so carefully scratch out the sand with the edges of the rake. Mistakes can be smoothed out quite easily if necessary. Once the shape is fully raked out and the string and pegs are removed, all that's left to do is take the shot. To keep the foreground and background sharp, use aperture priority and choose a narrow aperture such as f/16. You might also want to try including people in the scene as a point of interest or to add scale to your design. You could even venture into it yourself. So there we have it. That's all there is to creating incredible anamorphic sand art. It's an involved project and ideally you need at least 2 people to pull it off, but the results are playful and eye-catching. And the beauty of it is, once you know how it's done, you can make any shape you like.